it's your turn to
Oh, is it for me?
consider yourself fired.
Why are you winking at me?
Consider yourself fired.
Hello, and welcome to the JT and Drew Show. I'm JT,
And I'm Drew.
and we're two nobodies talking about nothing.
Consider yourself fired.
Who is that beautiful bean footage right there?
I hear something. But I haven't heard this in so long. But it
Yeah.
sounds so familiar.
Does it? It should.
Could it be JT?
It is.
Hey!
With, balding in process.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, what happened to your hairline there, bud?
Yeah. Well, it's it was bad. I'm so glad that you were not around to see it, but it was bad. Went to a new barber.
Oh, that's always kind of
It's-
stressful.
It's a little scary, but
Yeah.
she lined me up, and when I combed it this way, it was very pointy.
Yeah.
But when I combed it the other way, it was very, where are you? I'm so sorry. Nobody understands me. So,
I'm the only one who's ever gone through this.
yeah. You'll never understand
Chipotle
my
is my
life.
life.
Yeah. For Rizzle.
It's all right. I have to hide behind my microphone because my mustache fell off in my sleep.
You baby face on me. Oh, look at that.
Here I am. I'm 12 years old again.
Oh, it So I got the phone call from the producers. Well, not really a phone call. It was kind of
Okay.
it was a text message, but it was a voice message. I don't know if they did that for you. You know,
Yeah, I
they-
have a hard time reading those sometimes, especially
Yeah.
when they're not in Spanish.
so, but emergency alert is why we're on. That's why we're on the Zoom this time. We are not in the
Ooh.
studios.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense now. I was kind of wondering why I was getting this weird notification on my phone.
yeah. Well,
Makes sense now.
I don't know about you, but the way mine goes off is oh. Like, oh no, it's the producers again.
Nah, mine's not gay. It goes, "You're the chosen one.
Let me
You're the chosen one.
Ronald Weasley.
Drew, not JT."
Yeah, well, good. So
Yeah, so
Big
red
news.
alert, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
so- well-
the buzzwords all across.
red alert. How long have we been gone? Like 2.5 months?
Well, all right. If you're gonna say how long we've been gone, it's really like closer to 3 months. Because it's like a day or two past the 2.5 month mark, so you round up closer to 3.
80% Bible.
Hell yeah, brother.
This is crazy. We left 2.5 months ago. 3 months ago. The world was on fire.
Yeah.
And the fire keeps growing.
Yeah. I mean, we've joked in the past about like, oh, it's like a Texas wildfire. It's just spreading. No. And go back, listen to previous episodes. We've said several times like, oh, when you think it can't get any worse. Yeah, when you think it can't get any worse, man, it's like a freaking snowball coming down from Mount Everest. The guy at the top just started packing it in his hand, and we're like halfway down the hill now, and it's the size of a house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
and
just
it's
gaining
just-
momentum. It's getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, it's growing and growing. And oh my goodness.
But everyone around will tell you the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's wonderful out there. Oh, let me look out my window. Oh, crap. It's like a literal tornado with thunderstorm, all this crap in one. No, it's beautiful. Yeah, I should go to the park.
Yeah. What are you
What?
talking about? There's nothing out there. What? I mean, it's not just the world. I mean, it is the world, but it is now hit local. And by local, I just mean by state. The
Yeah.
the border. Holy
Oh, yeah.
mackerel.
Yeah, I was reading a stat earlier. I think it was saying in 2023 alone, um, I forgot how many, I want to say it was like close to 2 million illegal immigrants just for last year. So, speaking of the border, thank you for
Yeah.
bringing that up because I wanted to talk about this.
Well, I was trying to get you closer to home, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's not me, it's you.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about
Yikes.
it.
So, we've got failing border policies, record numbers of illegal immigrants, U.S. tax-paying citizens, you, me,
Yeah. Our
being taken
listeners.
advantage of,
Mm-hmm.
this, wildfire getting out of control. But I don't know if you've ever wondered or thought, whose fault is this? Well, I'm glad you do wonder and think that because I have the answer.
Well, let me give my answer first, and then you can
Oh,
tell me if I'm right. Okay.
you're not, but okay, go for it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm usually not, but let me see if I can just try and throw some JT logic in there. We haven't had an
Dangerous.
issue except for, and I would say issue, I would mean like a huge, big problem. I mean, the border's always been a problem,
Sure.
but we haven't had like a really big issue since the last 3.5, 4 years, roughly. I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't really start following politics or anything like this until Trump was running in 16. Am I correct on that one? 16? And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
actually, a lot of this stuff makes sense. Did I like him personally? No. I thought he said a bunch of stuff that was a little wrong.
Sure.
And like, you know how you're in a crowd and you're like, oh, I was trying to say that. Like there was a lot of times that happened,
Yeah.
but we didn't have border problems to my knowledge, and I could be wrong. Our economy was a lot better. Um, I could buy feral rods, but I
It's
can't
okay. Let
now.
me get you a tissue.
I can't now. I can't.
No.
I can
And
barely
you're
put food on my
absolutely
table.
right. You're absolutely right. And not saying that,
Wait,
everything was the
did,
best that it could be. Go
did you
ahead.
just say I was right?
About this part of it.
Oh,
But
I'll take it.
things were much better. You'll take what I give you. Um, sorry, that's the producers telling me to tell you. Yep, I told him. Okay, thank you. We were much better off.
Yeah,
I could fill up my tank for my pickup truck for about maybe $50
on the
from
from E to full.
from
Yeah,
E to full. Just the other day, and this hasn't even been the highest that we've experienced in the last 3 years,
yeah,
but just the other day this week, I think what was it? I put in about $40. I was on E and I got just under the needle was just under 3/4
from E.
from E.
Yeah, yeah. I put in about $39 at a half a tank. So
Yeah,
you know,
it's ridiculous. But again, what is the media telling you? Hey, this is the best, and prices are being lowered, and you now have, as an American citizen, more spending money in your pocket. Then you putting more food on your table and buying more things because the economy is the best it's been in history.
yeah. Now over
What?
40 years.
Not
What?
if you keep letting people in illegally
Yeah.
and giving crap away and making us pay for it
So
and just
whose
printing money.
whose fault is this, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I don't mind you asking. I'm glad you've asked. I hope you don't mind me sharing.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I hope you're right.
Well, I'm going to jump on the old bandwagon here.
Oh, oh,
It's all Trump's fault.
oh, here we go.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't hear it here first, but you heard it here.
Yeah, you sure did. And apparently everything that I just said was wrong.
Wah, wah. So there's several. I did In my research, I've tried to pull up different news sources, right? So
Yeah.
we're not just getting all the information from left or right or in between or behind or forward. Let's just pull a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
So, Fox News recently, these are all going to be recent headlines. Fox News, Biden torched for claiming Trump is only reason the border is not secure.
You would expect that
ABC
from
News,
Fox.
excuse me, yes, you would. ABC News, I would think a little more liberal, right?
Yeah, you think.
Biden blames Trump for bringing border deal to verge of collapse. USA Today, Biden slams Trump on blowing up border deal. KSBY.com. I don't
Hmm.
know why, but my eyes read that. My head said KY jelly. Biden says Trump is to blame for killing bipartisan border agreement.
You said KY.
CNN.
You said KY jelly, and I went to PB&J. So hungry.
Something's wrong with you. CNN. Potential failure of border bill creates a political opening for Biden. I can't look at you right now.
Yeah.
But all this to say, Biden's been catching a lot of flack for saying that all of this is Trump's fault.
Yeah, yeah, it seems, and it's not just these headlines, other headlines and things like that.
Yeah,
CNN, ABC, um, who's the other one? New York Times.
New
They're
York Times,
all,
Washington Post.
yeah, they're all, if you've paid attention in the past 2 months, they're all starting to turn away from Biden
A little
in
bit,
this,
but what
in
gets
their
me curious
headlines.
about that, what gets me curious about that is they don't have another major candidate that's going to be running or that's going to be on the ticket.
Yeah, they do.
Who?
Gavin Newsom.
No,
You look at me
that's going
like
to be
that.
a poop.
You look at me like that, but he is their man right now.
Yeah, he can't even solve California.
Hey, just because he can't solve a state doesn't mean he can't solve a country.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So
Destroy
Biden
one,
was
destroy
quoted.
it all. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What was it?
Nothing. Our listeners got it. You did.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, skimming through the White House transcripts, Biden says this: Republicans have to decide. For years, they said they want to secure the border. Now they have the strongest border bill this country has ever seen. We're seeing statements about how many oppose the bill now. So, this is in reference to a bill that Biden was telling the people, Congress, Senate, hey, if Congress gets this bill on my desk, I'll sign it immediately.
Did
We need to pass this.
do we have that bill number?
I couldn't find the bill number. They kept referring to HR2, but HR2 was a bill that was already in place previously. So I don't know if this would just be an amendment or what
Okay.
exactly. I did some digging. I just couldn't find a straight answer.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, in reference to this bill, he's saying basically, hey, well, Republicans have been griping and complaining about the border for a long time. So we're going to give them what they want. However, I don't think they're going to go for it. So this is going to be their fault. He says, quote, every day between now and November. What happens in November?
Mhm.
The American people are going to know that the only reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump and his MAGA Republican friends. End quote. So
Dum dum
again,
dum.
you guys have been complaining about this. So I'm giving you a bill. But if you don't pass it, well, you're the ones that are at fault for it. Doesn't this sound familiar?
Yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me of that veteran bill they did try to pass a couple years
Yes.
ago.
Yep.
And they're getting, I mean, they've been, but they're sneaky about it, right?
Oh yeah.
Because they'll come out and they'll say, "Hey, we got this veterans bill," and then you go and you read the bill, and there's a bunch of other stuff that's in it, and it doesn't get passed. But then they come back out and say, "Well, Republicans just don't like the veterans; they want you to suffer and blah blah blah." But
Yeah. They hate veterans.
but you look at the bill and you're like, $82 million for Ukraine or
Yeah.
whatever it was. And it's like, okay, but this bill isn't just for veterans. There's a bunch of other stuff that was in there.
Well, that
And
brings me to
mm,
the next point here.
right now I'm trying to segue you into it, but
Go ahead.
the American people don't want that. They just want a bill that was just for veterans.
Yeah, if you're gonna say something, you're gonna say, "Hey, this is titled this. We want to put this in front of you. Take out all the extra crap.
Yeah. So,
Make other bills for that."
yeah. So to segue you into this, what is in this bill that the Republicans have not or will not pass?
All right. So just to circle back real quick,
Oh, I'm circling. Sorry.
Biden says that this is uh, the biggest border security bill like ever in history. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a 118 billion with a
A,
B
a
as
B.
in but boy.
You can't say that.
Yeah, caught myself. $118 billion bipartisan immigration bill that includes the following. Now I'm going to start from highest to least. Actually, I'm going to start from least to highest.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So out of $118 billion,
Do I need to get my calculator out?
nah, you get enough toes. Just start counting the hairs when you're done counting the toes.
Oh,
Indo-Pacific is going to be getting 4.8 billion to provide resources to help our allies in the region and build the capabilities necessary to address threats from China. Okay.
okay.
Remember, this is a border security bill, the most border security ever in history being proposed in this bill. 10 billion of that is going to go to humanitarian aid. What's humanitarian aid, you might ask? Good
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
Funding to help civilians in need around the world. What does that mean? That means helping Ukrainians who have been displaced by Russia's invasion and Palestinians in Gaza.
So not for us, it's for
Nope.
someone else.
hmm hmm
Hmm.
14.1 billion is going to go to Israel to provide additional military aid, help replenish their air defenses, and funding for support for short and long-term defense needs against a broad array of immediate and future threats.
So they're going to give them $14.1 billion to spend on their military and their defense
Yeah,
systems,
so they can
which
protect themselves.
so they can purchase that from America. So then the $14.1 billion are going to go back to American companies who then lobby for more bills for Israel. Isn't that money laundering?
I'm not too smart on like insider trading, but if I was, I'd follow wherever the crap this money is going and start investing.
Raytheon and all them other ones.
Well, and what gets me too is so they're going to send 14 billion to Israel for its defenses, and then you're going to give part of the 10 billion to the Palestinians in Gaza. Now,
Well,
it did mention that these will be the people, the Palestinians that are not affiliated with Hamas.
how can you tell?
Exactly.
Oh, am I allowed
So
to
we're
say that?
funding both sides of it. Like I've tried to make it make sense and I feel like my eyes are bleeding. So moving on. The next chunk of this most comprehensive border security bill,
Hmm.
the US border is going to receive $20.23 billion. What is it for? Good question. It's going to provide temporary emergency authority for the president to shut down the border when the system is overwhelmed. Okay, well, you might think, hey, that's not actually a bad idea. Caveat is what they mean by that. If we have, let's say, 3 or more days in a week where we have more than 5,000 immigrants on any given day illegally crossing into the United States, that would constitute the system being overwhelmed. So if it's less than that, then it's not overwhelmed. Just suck it up, Buttercup.
What was that number again?
5,000
A day.
a day. For it's got to be like, I don't remember exactly. I know 3 days was one of the things. But folks, you're out there, you're watching, you're listening, go look it up. I'm not making this crap up.
Yeah.
It would part of the $20.3 billion or $20.23 billion would go to expedited access to work authorizations for hundreds of thousands of migrants. So basically, the way I was reading it was if they are asylum seekers, legitimate asylum seekers, pretty much, hey, you're given a work visa. Here you go.
But
Wow.
but they're all asylum seekers, and we won't know about that until what, 5 to 10 years when their court
Well,
hearing
but
is.
again, if you're a freaking asylum seeker, go to the port of entry. Don't
Yeah.
be hopping fences. It will establish an efficient and fair process for consideration of asylum and other protection claims by those arriving at our southwest border. Recalibrate the asylum screening process. Provide critical funding for combating smuggling and drug trafficking, border security, and asylum processing. Strengthen federal law against fentanyl trafficking. Increase lawful pathways to come to the U.S. Uh, to promote family and stability for non citizens. Ensure the humane and fair treatment of those seeking asylum, especially the most vulnerable. Okay. Now, that's 20.23 billion for our own border out of 118 billion. Drum roll, please.
Go ahead.
Ukraine with a whopping 60.6 billion. So they would get 3 times as much as we are for our border. This would provide military aid to Ukraine, invest in producing weapons and equipment that the US can send to Ukraine, and continue to send economic assistance to Ukraine to help boost their economy.
So part of the 10 billion that's going for humanitarian, they're also
Yep.
going to get 60.6 billion
Yeah.
to help their economy, so their civilians.
Yeah, because the big part of it was if their economy falls, that's not good for anybody. That's not good for the world. So we want to see them succeed. So we're going to stimulate their economy. Screw us. Forget about our border security. Forget about our defenses. Forget about our economy. We got to help them. Now, I know everybody's freaking out right now because this stuff is moving so quickly, and Biden was trying to get it pushed through so quickly as well.
Yeah.
We found out that the bill actually failed to pass, just like he predicted. So it is all Trump's fault.
Huh.
Senate Republicans shot it down. Uh, Chuck Schumer um, came in, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the Senate Republicans were not happy with the foreign aid in this bill. They wanted border security for the United States of America,
Yeah.
but when they received the bill, okay, $118 billion request, and there's all this other foreign aid in it, they're like, no, this isn't what we asked for.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
we're not voting for it. So then Chuck Schumer gets all upset. He comes out, gives a long speech, and he's blaming Donald Trump and saying that, um, you know, the Republicans wanted border security. We sat down, we came up with a plan, we gave them border security, and they voted against it. So they don't really want border security. They just want to politicize this whole thing. He said, quote, the House is in chaos. It doesn't behoove the speaker well to block everything because 30 hard right-wing people just want chaos like Donald Trump does.
End quote.
End quote.
But
And
that's
then
not the
there's
case at
several
all.
people on several different social media platforms supporting the blaming of President Trump, saying that Trump threatened Republicans, um, if they didn't oppose the bill,
You
they were
don't,
threatened.
but you don't need Trump to oppose this bill. There's no aid for us.
No, and let's bring this full circle. Trump is not the current sitting president, has
No.
not been for almost 4 years now. At what point are you going to stop blaming all of your failures, or maybe not even your failures, but your not successes on this guy? He's not in office. He's not pulling strings. He's not making decisions. He's not doing any of those things. So how are you still blaming him?
Yeah. Make it make sense.
You have a high school senior who's the football star, and he every now and then has a screw up, right? And the coach yells at him, or let's vice versa that. He's the high school football screw up, and he's a senior, and he's on the team, and he keeps screwing up. He graduates, he leaves. It's 4 years later, and the team is losing this game, and the coach is still blaming that kid.
Yeah.
Kid's not even on the roster anymore, dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't even live in the state. You need to probably invest in a mirror and look at whoever the hell's staring back at you.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. But everything is Donald Trump, Donald Trump. And then they want to come out on other platforms and say that, oh, Republicans are so obsessed with Donald Trump. It's them and the MAGA Republicans. What is wrong? Donald Trump, take him out of the equation. What is wrong with the idea of Make America Great Again?
In my eyes or in America eyes, or not Americans, but
Yeah, in your eyes.
there's nothing wrong with that. What do
Yeah.
you, there's America is a great country. We have the best opportunities for anybody who comes to this country.
Land of the free,
Home of the
right?
brave.
If we're so terrible, why are all these so-called asylum seekers, these illegal immigrants, why are they coming here? Because it sucks so much?
Yeah, well, depends on who you listen to. This is the worst country in the world, and there's better countries out there that have better policies for their citizens.
Yeah. And usually
But
the people that are making those complaints that are using their platforms are making millions or billions of dollars.
yeah,
They're not affected by any of this stuff.
no, they're not. Not anymore. Not saying that they weren't in the beginning before they got to that point, but you
Yeah.
hold on to an idea that someone's holding you back, but yet in your bank account you've got 10, 20, $100,000.
Yeah. It just
So
the victim.
it doesn't make any sense. It's just it does not pass the sniff test. It doesn't pass a logic test. None of this makes any sense.
No,
Like you said, take Trump out of the equation. Well, part of that bill is border security.
that part of it. That much.
Yeah. So we posed this question on our Facebook page. We
Hmm.
got some pretty good interactions. And I just wanted to let everybody know, hey, keep them coming. We love having the discussion on this platform, on whichever platform that you want to have, X or formerly known as Twitter. Um, but tell us if we're in the right or if we're in the wrong, if we're thinking about it differently, you know, uh, we could be looking at this completely wrong.
Not likely, but we could.
But Drew is putting his foot down on this one.
Yeah, but like JT said, we really do value everybody's insight. Um, you know, again, like he said, you could be bringing different perspectives. Maybe we're not seeing it from a certain angle or what have you, and we'd love to talk about it and discuss that on the show. So please continue to leave comments, like, share, repost, um, send us an email, whatever, however is easiest for you to communicate with us.
Yeah.
We really enjoy engaging with y'all, and we just, again, appreciate y'all taking the time to listen, to check our content out, and just guys, can I be real with you?
No,
JT won't, but I will. We're number 33 in Nigeria for a reason, and I can't help to think that it's because of y'all. So
it is.
thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So
They know what that means.
now we're going to number 34.
At least you didn't do blackface this time.
God, would you quit? Why you got to bring that up?
But yeah, seriously, we love y'all. We've enjoyed putting this content together for y'all, and I think it's really important that we have these discussions. They're important. They affect every single one of us as American citizens, whether you live in Texas and are dealing directly with the border crisis, or shoot, I mean, even New York is feeling the pain from
Yeah.
having illegal immigrants flooding their cities. Massachusetts, they're building apartments and they're going to get 2 free years of rent and on the taxpayer's dime. So, I mean, no
Was
matter
that
where you are.
was that Massachusetts or was that Maine?
Oh, that was Maine. That was Maine.
Maine. Get it right.
See, JT was wrong on that one. But no matter where you are, you somehow, shape, way, or form are probably impacted by all of the goings on of our country, no matter who's in office. So we think it's really important when you're going to continue bringing you guys the updates and let us know what else you want to see.
Yeah. And just so you know, we are doing things behind the scenes, which is why we kind of took a little time off. But we will be back as fast as we can for you. Not for you, Drew, but for the listeners, the viewers.
Come sit next to me.
A lot of people still don't get that reference. Hey guys, it's the Halloween episode from season
Yeah.
2. It's one of our favorites that we did. So give it a listen.
Yeah,
But
that was great.
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Leave a comment. Give a 5-star review. Give a 1-star review. Let us know. Let us know what we're doing wrong. So
Yeah, don't do the 1 star. 5 or nothing.
5 or nothing. You ain't first, you're last.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. As always, we'd like to say thank you for stopping by and listening to the podcast.
Yeah, we realized that you could have been doing anything way more productive, but you chose to waste your time with us.
We look forward to talking about absolutely nothing with you next time.
If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, please email us at
jtandrewshow@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/JTDrewShow.